Hello, welcome to OBX Surf and Sound Fishing, and we're going to take a look at how I made this fishing rack using wood pallets. And I'll kind of walk you through what happens. This is an example of the finished product. And here's the holes, use the hole saw, and I'll go into detail about that in a minute. It's a pretty simple process. I've only made, I think I've made 4 so far, all out of wood pallets, and I just learned. I actually got the idea from the guys from Salt Strong on YouTube. The bottom piece is angled so that the rod will stay in the rack without falling over. It's at a 45-degree angle. So we'll get started, and I'll go over, all the pieces. First step was to make the rod holder parts, and that's using one piece that you see in front of you and actually cutting that in half. Putting holes in it first and then cutting it in half. And to find the half, usually you might get a board it's hard to find the exact half point using measurements. So I just went elementary on it and got a piece of paper and cut it to the same width and fold it in half. There you go. And then I marked the board so that it would be in half, and then drew a line right down the middle. That saved time to try to figure out what 2 5/8 are, 3 5/8, and find the half, and just use a piece of paper or something like that. Find the halfway point, mark it, and you're done. Okay, so after that, I went ahead and I had to measure out. If you look here where the holes are in the finished product, from the ends, I went every 6 inches, and that gave me 4 holes pretty much at equal distance apart. And I call these my mini racks, maybe for kids or something like that. So then I marked on my board the places where the holes would be, 6 to 12 inch, 6 to 12, 6 inches at 12 inches from one side. Flipped it over, did the same thing to the other side. Marked it at 6 and 12 again. And that gave me the marks for my holes. After that, I used a hole punch and just punched holes where the hole's going to be so that when I went to drill it, it would be easier. And I used the hole saw, which is an 1.5 inch hole saw. Got that from Harbor Freight. Woo woo! Shout out. And simple drill. And I put a board on the bottom of it so that when I drilled the holes, it wouldn't splinter the wood at the bottom. And that actually worked out pretty well. I'm not going to actually show the drilling, but you put it there and you drill the hole, and then out comes the plug. And the next picture you'll see the what it looks like. And if I just wipe my hand right there, it's clear. You can see no splinters or anything like that, which is great. Another example. And there's the finished product for the most part. My next step is to cut this down the middle. And all I had was a circular saw to do this part. Now I made a jig, of course. This right here is a big piece of like 2x4 or more. And had 2 that I put together with a slit down the middle so my blade wouldn't hit the bottom, and it worked out perfectly. I was really pleased with that. And that wood came from the bottom of the wood pallets as well. So that was pretty cool to make that. Then I had to figure out how to put that piece and connect it to the side, the bases on the side. And basically I put it on the table and lined it up. Then what I did was to figure out where I was going to drill the holes. I put the other half of the board on the other side. You'll see that in a second. Because I needed to figure out where I was going to put that the holes. So there you go. I put that up against the side of the board and traced that. That would give me the area where I was going to drill the pallet holes and connect it. Excuse me. You could put glue. I didn't use glue or clamps. I didn't have the clamps or anything like that. But you could probably use glue and clamps and make it even stronger. But I just used screws and it was fine. Then I did the same thing on the other side. Then at the bottom, I went ahead and measured that 8 inches from the bottom, and there's a line there. There you go. 8 inches from the bottom. That's where the bottom piece is going to go. The other half of the rod holder. And again, I had to drill the holes, the pallet holes, so I knew where it was going to go. Because I didn't have clamps, just used my hands to guide it, and it worked out good. Worked out fine. If I had clamps and some of the other stuff, it would have been even easier, or a drill press or something like that. And this is where the bottom goes, and that's facing. You notice the holes are facing the opposite direction, and that is directly in the middle of where that 8 inches. 8-inch mark was. Now the bottom part is angled, and that's set at 2 inches from the bottom. And it's angled at a 45-degree angle. From 2 inches from the bottom. And that seemed to be worked really well with pretty much all my rods. And I actually used I guess it's called an angle. A square, to find that 45-degree angle and pretty much marked it there. It doesn't have to be 45 degrees. It could be a little bit, I guess, a smaller angle, which would be fine. And then on top, if you notice, I drew the line where the angle is supposed to be, drill pallet holes and put that in. Then the last step was to put the backing on the top. And I've seen some rod holders that didn't even have this part, but I decided to put that there for extra support. And it will allow maybe a child to put their name on that back side, that side. When they look at their rod holder, they can see their name or something like that on it. That'd be pretty cool. And that's how that goes on. And then again, do pallet holes, and draw it, and then finally putting on the legs. And not the legs, the base. This actually came from a different rod rack that had extra pieces, and I just made a footing for it. And there she is again. That's the final copy, final one. If you have any questions about this, let me know. Shoot me an email or something, or a message, and I can give you some more specs if you need it. Appreciate you guys watching. Please like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Appreciate it. It helps the channel. We're brand new, just getting out content. And see you soon. Tight lines, and if I can do it, so can you. Peace out. Have a great, great day, and God bless you. Bye-bye.